Well, hello. Welcome to the most unusual tarot reading on the internet, or maybe most unusual reading anywhere. I've done tarot for the past 20 years. In that time, I've discovered tarot does not predict anything. Not in a meaningful way. Yeah, once in a while they'll get lucky, but it really doesn't predict. That's not its job, however. Tarot is not a predictor. Tarot talks about potential. It is the science of potential, your potential to manifest, your potential to draw pictures inside your own brain, not from some damn computer or smartphone, AI, none of that. Your brain. That's very important. That's the potential. And right now, it's a 50-50 proposition. We're going to surrender to technology. A lot of people like it because they don't have to think. I don't have to do anything. Let the computer. Well, how many times I see people go to Chat GPT or whatever, Gronk. Oh, give me an answer. In a general sense, if you're just simply looking at it like we would have looked at an encyclopedia, kind of just general information, kind of something quick, fine. But to investigate, to understand, that you have to apply on your own. If you don't, you give up the right to be self-contained, to be self-sustaining, to be self-determining. You've given up that right. You've given it to a computer, to a machine. I go back to the first story of the Bible, Old Testament, Adam and Eve. Here they are in quote-unquote the Garden of Eden, and no, I don't think there was literally such a place. That's not the point. Here they are in the Garden of Eden. The devil talks Eve into taking a bite from a tree that God told them specifically, do not eat the fruit. Don't. Supposedly it was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, but I've heard other descriptions of it. The point of the matter was God, quote, God told Eve, don't. Eve, being female, don't tempt her that way because she's going to fail. And she decides that she's going to go in. Same time, she's going to have someone go in with her because women never do it alone. They always do it in groups. And so she talks to Adam, quote, Adam, and she gets him to do it as well. Now, there's a lesson there that I'm not going to spend time with, but the point of the matter is we had choice, and we chose to ignore. No, I'm not going to do it. Well, we're confronted with that same kind of situation today. Is it tech or not? Now, I'm not saying it's an either or proposition, but I am kind of a tech Luddite. I think it is so easy to be manipulated by tech because we're such wimps, we're such simps, that it's very easy for us to give in to the machine and then bitch about what you get at the end result. You give in to the machine, you're living in 15-minute cities, you're having the government give you electronic money. They determine what the value of the money is. They determine whether or not you're going to get the money. If you say something that pisses them off, you're off the list. You're not going to be able to eat. You eat the kind of food that they tell you because you've given control over to them. That's where we're at right now. And so the potential is for you to manifest positively, not negatively, because most human beings already manifest but negatively. I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't, and they get don't, and then they bitch about it. So we have to switch it, and that's my job here, is to help you to manifest, to inspire you to take charge, to choose life. That's what this whole thing is about, choice. And so that's why the tarot is so powerful. It is the potential of choice, your choice. Now, I've also done astrology and numerology for the past 50 years, and those too are sciences, but they're the science of cycles. So in a way, they're kind of predictive, but not in a way that most people would think. For example, we had a revolution 250 years ago. We had two planets, Pluto and Uranus, in a certain position. It takes 250 years for Pluto to go all the way around the solar system, come back to its original spot. So 250 years ago, when we declared our independence from Britain, Pluto was essentially at the same spot it is now. Uranus was at the same spot it was now. It went around more times than Pluto. But the point of the matter is they are both there now. And if we had a revolution 250 years ago, what are we in the middle of now? It's the same energy. It's not going to materialize the same way, but it's the same energy. And again, it's a question of choice. So that's what we bring to the table when we do these tarot readings. You don't just get a tarot reading. You get the point of a tarot reading, and you don't have to guess what the energy is. I break it down to the nth degree. You're going to know what the frequency potential is. You choose how to use it in your life, because we've talked about what's going on in the world around you. That's important, because these days that will affect your choice. So let's get to the reading. Middle card, oracle card, not a tarot card, but it does highlight what the reading is going to be like. And today it's time for a nap. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily taking a nap, although naps can be refreshing and invigorating, and that may be something that you would want to do on a psychic or emotional level. Just kind of break away. Peace. You know, we're all chasing money. What we really want is peace. But we all chase money because that's what we've been conditioned to do. And when you get money, more money, you don't leave a peaceful life, or you don't have a peaceful life. Do you think somebody like a Musk or a Bezos or a Bill Gates or Soros or any of those people, you think they lead peaceful lives? No. People are out to take every penny they can get from them. People are attacking them one way or another. They have to defend all the time. Not a peaceful life. For Jesus Christ, peace was the most important thing. He very often in the New Testament talks about, my peace I give to you. Peace, 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 peace. Having that stoic, don't chase happiness. Happiness comes and goes. You can be happy and unhappy 24 times in the course of a 24-hour day. Peace stays with you. And that's what the whole deal is. So here we're talking about a time for a nap. So yeah, you might want to find some peace spiritually, emotionally. But what this time for a nap thing for me is all about is the Boo Bankey. Little kids talk, Boo Bankey. Give me my Boo Bankey. Let me suck my thumb. That's where we're at right now. Just escape. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to improve anything. I'm not going to take responsibility for anything. I want my Boo Bankey. And you see very evidently in front of you, that's not going to work. Doesn't make any difference. I want my Boo Bankey. Because all of us, I don't care what your age is, all of us are 5-year-olds, all of us. So the reading will help you tune in the frequency so you can deal with what we're dealing with today. But I ran into a couple of things that I thought were important in terms of the time. About 82 years ago, or that's a Uranus cycle. Uranus takes about 82, 83, 84 years to go all around the solar system. Pluto 250, Uranus about 82, 83, 84 years. So 82 years ago, the vaccine was invented. People who took the vaccine still got the flu. Didn't make any difference. They still got the flu. I know my dad, got to remember as a kid, every year he worked for the telephone company, Bell Telephone Company, it was known then. And every year he took the flu shot like a good boy, and he got sick as hell for about 3-4 days afterwards. Now, at the time, we didn't understand it. We understand today that's a detox. They put poison in. That's what the vaccines are. Very often it's poisons. And your body responds to this toxic situation by detoxing, which we see as runny nose, fever, all that other stuff. It's the body actually trying to clear itself. So even forget all the other one, the COVID stuff 4 years ago. If you got a flu shot, you are literally poisoning your body. So the body's going to try to get rid of it. Now, again, people who get flu shots get the flu. People who took the COVID shots got COVID. But we don't pay any attention. Give me my Boo Bankey. Give me here. I'll take the shot. I take the shot. Anything to me. It doesn't work. And you add to that we are now fully aware that the U.S. is being crop dusted with toxic life forms, neurotoxic heavy metals. Those are the chemtrails. Interestingly, about 82 years ago, when they developed the flu vaccine, they were also experimenting with a lot of other things that they've been dealing with today in terms of our health and welfare, including 82 years ago, starting to weaponize crop dusting or starting to pollute the air. Now they say they're doing it to block out the sun so that we don't heat up. But then why do we have to have the solar panels? We need sun. There's a conflict here. No sun, cloud, chemtrails. No chemtrails, we got the solar panels. Which one are we supposed to believe? Well, we do know for a fact the chemtrails have toxic heavy metals in them. They're crop dusting the whole planet, certainly the United States. They're making us sick. Isn't this interesting that both the crop dusting idea and the flu idea started about 82 years ago, the Uranus cycle? Uranus is in the same spot now that it was then. Do you think it's always been a question of poisoning us? Well, a lot of people aren't going to find out because they want that Boo Bankey. They want to take a nap. I want to get away from it. Not appropriate time for a nap. That's for sure. Taking a break, catching your breath, yes. Taking a nap, no. So let's go to the cards, and we start off on the left with exactly the same card from two different decks, the Hangman. We need to see things from a different perspective. That's why the Boo Bankey doesn't work. You can't just run away and hide. You can't go suck your thumb in the corner with Boo Bankey wrapped. You can't do that. Can't do that. Same technology that's been so poisonous to us today, the whole idea of a flu shot or a vaccine, started 82 years ago. Crop dusting, poisoning crop dusting, toxic heavy metals, started about 82 years ago by the military. It's the same message delivered in two separate ways. You gotta turn your head around. You gotta be the Hangman, and because there's two together, even just two in the same reading, underlines, get your head out of your ass and start to pay attention. Don't worry about being woke. Woke is being hypnotized. Your eyes are open, but nobody home. Be conscious. Big difference, because that means you take responsibility and you forget the Boo Bankey. Because really what we're after is the next card, and that is the Four of Wands. Wands are positivity, excitement, enthusiasm, joy, gratitude. The Four of Wands talks about harmony, talks about partnership, talks about stability, talks about home, talks about connection. That's what we want. So what do we have to do? Final card, Six of Swords. We got to take what we know to be true. Those are the six swords. Sword stands for truth, information. And you see these two leaving. They have what they know is true, and they're off. They're not sticking around anymore. They're conscious. They know that they have to do something different. They have to think something different. They have to feel something different for it to be different. It's not a time to take a nap. We're too close to the edge of extinction. First time in the last 7,000 years that we've been at the point where we can wipe ourselves off. I'm not worried about something coming from outer space. I'm not worried about some sort of solar flare or even any kind of volcanic eruptions. We'll kill ourselves. We see 82 years ago, the flu vaccine, which poisons your body. 82 years ago, they begin testing with the chemtrails, the neurotoxic heavy chemicals, spreading it all over. The message is clear. Not a time to take a nap, take accountability, take responsibility. Ooh, dirty words. But that's the frequency. That's the Tao Manifested reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another. Please like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Very important to battle the evil forces on the internet these days. Like, subscribe, and share. I thank you much. Be back tomorrow. I'm here every single day. Between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.